Hi class, I'm Elizabeth Grant and I am your instructor for your web blended public speaking class this spring 2022. It's crazy times, right? But you have chosen to take a class where you're going to do the units and on your own at your own time. I will be releasing those every week or two. And then we will meet 3 times to give the mandatory 3 public speeches. So right now, it looks like if everything goes according to plan, we will be able to meet in person on the Nelson campus for those 3 required times. There's a chance that that February meeting will have to be on Zoom, but we will go in accordance to what the rest of the college is doing. And so you'll be getting emails about that. I will be posting announcements when we get closer to the February 7th event. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little heads up. I have opened the course and this is what your view looks like, I hope. And what you need to do first is to go to the course orientation. Here you will see some information. This is where this video is going to be, but I'm also sending it to you by email. The course outline where you're going to look and see like where my virtual office hours are. I just want you all to feel like students who have a real person teaching your class, not a virtual one. So, seek me out as if you're in a face-to-face class. The course content is listed. The descriptions of your 3 speeches are listed. You can read everything and especially pay attention to this. This is where you know how many points are in the class, and it tells you how, though, you will be earning those points. Now, what is a little deceiving in Blackboard is when you get to the grade book, don't look at the percentage column. I've tried to take that off, but you still are able to see it some way. What it doesn't account for is work that is not yet turned in. So because in this type of a course, everything's out there, it's not like I'm releasing class assignments as we go. It looks like you may have a different percentage than you actually have. At the end of the day, in May, you will be earning your the total grade you receive at the end of the course based on this point breakdown. So refer to it often. It is on your course outline. Okay, so you can look at that on your own time, but I wanted you to know where it is. So also something to pay attention to, because I don't use due dates in Blackboard, this is where you will see what is due when. So I would print this out so that you will not get graded late on discussion posts especially. But it is a class where you need to have some ownership and be self-motivated. So I would print this out. If it changes, which it might, I will let you know that in the announcements, but this will keep you on track. Now note that this first unit number 1, which has 2 discussion posts, the only unit that does that, is actually open for 2 weeks. And the reason I'm doing this is because Lewis and Clark is allowing students to enter the course through the first week. So we could have some people who are going to be catching up on that Get Acquainted post. And that's why you have a couple weeks to get acclimated, to get your book. I want to show you what your book looks like. It looks like this, and it's available for around $20 to rent at the bookstore. You can also rent it online, and I hear there is a free PDF somewhere out there on the internet. So I don't know anything about that, but I've had students tell me that, and there's no reason for me that you need to purchase this book. There's no Launchpad access code or anything that you need. So if you want to borrow it, if you want to download it, whatever you want to do, just have it, because you're accountable for readings in these chapters. Okay, so we have 3 mandatory speech nights, and they are going to start on February 7th. Then our second one is March 7th. You'll notice on that night, we'll actually do 2 speeches. You will have a prepared speech. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech with research. That's the only difference between that and your self-speech. The self-speech is our special occasion self-introduction speech. It requires no outside research. I will be sending you mine so you can kind of get an idea of what one sounds like. But remember, I never send you a sample hoping that your finished product looks like mine. You have lived a very different life than I have, and thus your self-speech will be different. I just give you one example, allows you to get to know me better also. So that on the second time, we'll have an informative 5 to 7 minute speech, and then we will take a break and we will do impromptu speeches where you will be able to draw a topic, and actually 3 topics. You'll get to pick your favorite one, and you'll have 2 minutes to prepare a 2-minute speech. Okay, so think on your feet activity. It does not require any research. It's purely the information and opinions and life experience that you came in with that night. You will turn into a speech. So don't worry about that. I will model one before we go. And then the last night that we're physically together is April 18th, and that is our persuasive speech night. So that is a 7 to 10 minute speech. And so, yeah, that's 7 to 10 minutes. So you plan your night accordingly. On speech nights, we only stay as long as the speeches take. Now, all of the coursework in this class is housed in units, and you will see that Unit 1 is open right now. These will be released according to the calendar, and the old unit will stay up there. So let's say that something happens and you get behind. I sometimes allow people to do past work if they get in touch with me. I never allow past discussions. So just know that if something's happening in your life, try to keep up on the discussion posts. So this discussion posts only happen in odd numbered units. So there's 2 that actually happen in this first unit. 1 is part of the course orientation, and 1 is part of Unit 1. Make sure you do both of those. Discussion posts get you 20 points each time if you post and then reply. So other than this course, the first one where you're trying to meet everybody in the class, where you're supposed to reply to everyone, future posts only require that you would reply to 3 people. Okay, so it's manageable. When speeches happen, know that you have a lot of resources that happen that occur in tabs in Blackboard. The first is a speech prep worksheet. That's only if you want to do it. I don't need to see it, but it allows you to kind of plan out your speech. Remember, we are going for an extemporaneous speech format. That is a conversational sound. Hopefully something like you think I'm doing right now, where I have some things to refer to, but I am not reading to you. This is delivered differently to every recording, every audience I give this first day spiel to. Okay, that's an extemporaneous conversational sound. So to do that, I never really want you to write your speech out as a paper. Students do that. I think it's a mistake because we write and speak in different languages. We just do. You write way more formally than you speak conversationally. We would like the authentic conversational speaker to appear on speech nights. Okay, so some of these resources hopefully allow you to do that. Look at this recipe for a perfect outline. Now, you're going to see this is what you need to have uploaded under Upload Outlines here. There's a tab that says that. That's what you need to have done on speech night. So I would use this outline for my speaking notes as well. I don't think it makes sense to have something you turn into me and something you speak from. Use those. This is for you. But it's a keyword outline. It is not a manuscript. So you only need to give me fragments here, enough to get you through that point when you're giving your speech. Okay, so this is what your outline at the end on the informative and persuasive speeches. You'll actually list your MLA citations. Other than that, the work is done in units. You have a discussion board on the left that goes with odd numbered units. I will print out these rubrics that I will use to grade all your 3 speeches, but I would always look at those before I speak. So when you're planning your self-introduction speech, look at this and look and make sure that you have all the critical pieces so that you're not showing up on speech night and saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know we needed a visual aid. You need a visual aid on every speech. So just know that. Doesn't need to be a PowerPoint. Sometimes I think that kills a good introductory speaker because they are drawn to look at the PowerPoint instead of the audience. If you fear that, maybe you want to just use something else like a book as your visual aid, or an app on your phone that you wanted to show us, or a microphone, or a stethoscope. There are many things that can enhance what you are talking to us about. At some point in your speech, you need to call attention to it, however. So if you're wearing your uniform, because you're going to talk to us about why you have chosen a career in law enforcement, at some point in your speech, draw attention to your badge, draw attention to your uniform. Okay, all speeches are timed, and the first 2 speeches are recorded so that you can later reflect upon them. My goal for the next 16 weeks is that you would increase in your confidence at the podium. I believe experience does that. So it's good for you to look at the rubric that I will give you after your speech and compare it to the recording that you watch of your performance. Sometimes you're very surprised at some of the behaviors that you do. Sometimes you look way more confident than you thought. So I think it's very important that we look at and view past performances in hopes of achieving maybe more confidence the next time. Okay, so if you have questions throughout the semester, especially these first couple weeks, don't be a stranger. Let's get off on the right foot. And remember that I am only an email away at eegrant@lc.edu. I will be opening this course and later today. So I'm going to go ahead and send you the email with this video so that hopefully that you can get acclimated. But technically, the class opens tomorrow, and you will have 2 weeks to to get Unit 1 finished. So I'll see you first on February 7th, and don't be a stranger. Thanks. Bye.